Item B, adopt a resolution authorizing the closure of San Mateo Avenue between Genevan Avenue and Sylvan Avenue on Sundays from May 2nd, 2010 through October 31st, 2010 between the hours of 7 a.m. and 3 p.m. and Genevan Avenue between El Camino Real and San Mateo Avenue on June 6th, 2010 between the hours of 7 a.m. and 3 p.m. for a farmer's market.
Thank you and good evening, Honorable Mayor and City Council. About 1 year ago, the City Council approved a resolution which allowed the Pacific Coast Farmers Market and the San Bruno Chamber of Commerce to operate a farmers market on San Mateo Avenue on Sundays. This market operated extremely successfully from the middle of June through the end of November. This market brought thousands of residents to our downtown area. I talked to shop owners in downtown, and they were all they were extremely excited about the success and the amount of customers that it drove to the downtown area. The Pacific Coast Farmers Market and the San Bruno Chamber of Commerce once again wish to operate this market. They're doing so to operate the market in largely the same way that they did last year. However, as noted in the staff report, there will be 4 changes to the market's operations. The first is the timing of the market. As I mentioned before, last year the market operated in the middle of June through the end of November. That was largely a timing issue. They now want to start operation in the beginning of May through the end of October, and this works better for the fruits and vegetable seasons. Those of you who may have went to the market towards the end last year, you might have noticed that the number of vendors dwindled, and that was just because the vendors no longer had the fruits and vegetables that they needed to sell. So this market timing would line up better with the seasons. The second thing is a slightly different layout than last year. As you may remember, last year customers looped around the booths that were positioned together. This year they would be positioned apart and customers would go in between the booths. The third thing is the market timing. This council subcommittee last year recommended that the timing be from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. rather than an earlier start time from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. And while that did have some upside, what the market noticed was that people tended to still come early. What we were trying to do last year by having it later was that a lot of people who go to church in the area could go after church to the market. What I think happened is a lot of people in the area were actually going before church perhaps, or just showing up early to the market, because it tends to be that markets open earlier. So that is the reason they're proposing it from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. this year. And the biggest change this year, as you'll notice in your staff report, there's a request for 2 road closures. Last year, the market actually started the week after Posey Parade, so there was no conflicts that could have happened. This year, in order to avoid the conflict, they're requesting that the road be closed, that Genevan be closed between El Camino and San Mateo Avenue. Staff feels that there would be a lot of overlapping attendance and would probably increase attendance for both events and be a great day for the community to not only have the Posey Parade, but also have the farmers market to attend. The police department and the fire department have reviewed this layout and will, if approved by the council, will be placing additional conditions on this new arrangement. For instance, traffic on El Camino moving down, we want to make sure that people are aware that the market there is on Genevan, so they don't make that turn off of El Camino Real at high speeds into the market area. So there will be signs put up, and the police and fire department will be involved with the conditions of approval. So with that, I believe I saw all the council members at the farmers market last year, so I think everyone knows, how it was basically ran and that it was a large success. So I can answer any specific questions that you may have at this time.
Questions?
Through the chair.
Irene?
Thank you. Do you plan on, or do they plan on having the same hours, 9 to 1, on Posey Parade Day as they do on the other days, or are they going to adjust it for the Posey Parade time?
I believe, from what they've stated, yes, it would be at the same time from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. on Posey Parade Day.
Okay.
As you will notice, Laura Baumann is here from the San Bruno Chamber of Commerce, as well as a Pacific Coast Farmers Market representative.
Okay, and I'd like to make a couple of comments. I did go many times, so did my family, and we enjoyed the farmers market a great deal, and we saw many, many residents come up and down. And I think that the new site plan that you have here should work very well, because it did get a little crowded and distracting the other way. I just have a technical comment to make. On page 55, I believe this is from the page 55 that's here is from last year because it notes 2009 and not 2010.
Okay.
And also notes the link, so I'm sure we just throw that out.
Item
Or
3.
change them, yeah, item 3. And item 6 talks about the portable bathrooms, which we said not to do. That's all. But I think it's a great.
And through the
Great
chair,
thing.
last year they did work out arrangements with shop owners to be able to use, for farmers markets customers to use bathrooms in the nearby shops.
Right, and they are going to do that again, I
Correct.
take it? Great, thank you.
Through the chair. Obviously, there's 4 changes, as was indicated by you. The organization, dates, which makes sense, times. Councilmember O'Connell and I, as we said on there, was for reasons of parking. Though I know in the staff report you make reference to the banking, the 2 banks that are offering their parking, so that should help address that. There was also some concern of nearby residents that, because there's usually entertainment, which Aaron and I have talked about the entertainment aspect, so, but I'm sure that can be accommodated. But the thing is, I'm going to come to, so I would assume that they would know best. If it's 9 to 1 that works best, and that's what seems to be what folks do, I'll give you that. On the Posey Parade, and the layout I think looks well, and I think that allows for emergency vehicles and any type of situation that arises, so I think that works out well. But on the Posey Parade, we're talking about, my only concern there is as far as staffing, resources, congestion. But also what we're saying in the staff report is, don't worry about parking because you can use the bank parking lots. But on Posey Parade, where you're having it down there, they can't use the bank parking. So in essence, where do they park? Where do they go? I don't think you can redirect the Posey Parade to cut down some way, I don't believe. So that's the one thing that, what are you going to do with those folks coming by? And where are they going to park?
I was thinking of that before the council meeting tonight. I think that we should, I think people who go down to the Posey Parade generally either park in the neighborhood area, use the city parking lots, and I think a lot of the farmers market customers will be the same people, and they'll use the city parking lots and use the public parking in the street. I tend to park in City Hall parking lot on Posey Parade, and it's largely underutilized on that day. I'm one of maybe 10 to 15 cars within the city parking lot, so that's another area that we can consider directing people towards, since it is nearby both events. We could put signage as such to help direct people.
I gathered that. I knew what you meant. But thanks for the clarification. No, it was just a concern because, you know, we have limited resources, and I just don't want to, with all that's going on that day, which is to celebrate the Posey Parade, which is a long-standing tradition in this community. I like the excitement of having a lot of activity in our city on that day. I'm hoping for a very nice, beautiful, sunny day. But also I want to keep in mind that we have only so much staff doing what they do on that day. And now I just always worry about the extra burden. And again, just the congestion and the safety of everybody trying to do all of the activities for that day.
Through the chair, if I could comment, being affiliated with the Posey Parade for many years, I've noticed that police is very prominent in the downtown as far as making sure that vehicles are off the street and that the barricades are all maintained. Things. The Posey Parade starts at 1 o'clock. Most people that come to the Posey Parade are local, and they camp out and they sit along the street and view the parade as it comes by down San Mateo Avenue and then up to City Park. Being that the farmers market will be from 9 o'clock to 1 o'clock, I mean there may be a shortage of parking, but it's not like there's going to be a competition for Posey Parade participants or spectators and farmers market shoppers. So I don't anticipate a big problem. I mean, I don't think there's I wouldn't expect a lot of people from the farmers market watching the Posey Parade, other than out of pure interest, knowing that the street's closed for some reason. But because of the fact that the Posey Parade starts at 1 and the farmers market will end at 1, there may be some overlap.
There's bound to be a little bit, but I think it'll work itself out. I just think the farmer's market will have to have a lot of extra caramel corn for that day.
Most of the Posey parking is down at the north end for the participants.
Any more discussion?
No.
Action by the council?
I'd like to introduce the resolution.
Councilmember O'Connell.
Aye.
Councilmember Ibera.
Aye.
Councilmember Salazar.
Aye.
Vice Mayor Medina.
Aye.
Mayor Ruane.
Aye.